guys, and welcome back to Super Kitten Krysta 64. Today,
I am so pumped.
Your Majesty is in the building.
I am the Vista King. Thank you for acknowledging my greatness.
We gotta give you something.
We're checking out a game, Xenoblade Chronicles 3,
You
that
might have
has
heard of it.
vistas like you
Galore.
would not believe.
Got lore.
Yes.
Yeah.
A vista is just a beautiful view
Yeah.
that you can get in a video game or in real life.
Yes.
I prefer the video game variety,
Me too.
honestly.
Yeah.
We put out a call to our subscribers on Patreon and to the rest of the world. Said, send us your best vistas in the game. We're gonna rate them. As always, very scientific, 4 criteria, which we're gonna be both following.
Right.
1, is the scenery beautiful and dramatic? This is just like the wow factor of
Yeah.
like, whoa, I can't believe what I'm
like
seeing.
Subject to interpretation.
Well, they all are, to be honest.
So hopefully we can
Yes.
agree on something.
The second, are the characters well positioned? Now, this is going to be controversial.
See, I didn't realize that this was something that was important to you when I first was talking
So
to
important.
you about this.
Number 3, can you make out details big and small? Again, the grandness of it.
yeah.
You want to see something off in the distance,
distance?
but also maybe something cool right, next
Yeah,
next
you
to the
want to
character.
see like that depth.
And then finally, we just have a criteria, which is like, do we like it our own personal opinion?
Personal opinion.
Right. So
Yeah.
we're going to add those up. We're going to rate these all 1 to 5.
Yes.
We're going to see what the winner is.
Yeah, I submitted my own Vista for consideration. Might be biased.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
5 all around.
Yeah, you might get the Vista King guillotine. We'll see.
Chopped forever.
Our first submission is from the wonderful Shinryu on Patreon. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to read what Shinryu wrote for
Yes.
the submission. I'm not very far into the game yet, so I only have this vista to share that I also really like. That's the spot where Saidao takes you to in his subquest to discuss something with Mio in the group. It's a very beautiful view where you can also see the big sword and the Titan in the background. In this quest, you also had to do a fight there, which I think is kind of epic. I also like doing this whole quest and seeing all the character interactions and also getting to know Saidao more. This is a great vista.
This is everything you wanted in a Vista.
There's a lot.
Really.
There's a lot to like here. So let's just start putting some numbers down. Is the
Yeah.
scenery beautiful and dramatic?
Very. I would say like 4 or 5.
I think this is a 5.
Okay.
I mean, you've got the verticality, you've got the clouds.
You have this really something like mysterious in the
Right.
background. Like he mentions, you can see like
Yeah.
the sword and maybe some of the mechs in the background.
So I'm putting it down. I do decree, as the Vista King, that I get a 5 on that score. Next, are the characters well positioned?
Yes. We don't see all the characters here. We see 2 out of
Yeah,
you
there's
see
2.
2 out of like what, 6 characters that you kind of go
I mean,
on
it's
to?
not like caught in the middle of some interesting animation, but they are just looking out in wonder
They are.
over the same thing that we as the player are looking at. So
And he did include my favorite character, Lance. So
Yeah.
that's extra points. Right
I'm gonna give it a 4 because
Yeah.
I think that's really good. Can you make out details big and small?
I would say there's not a lot. There's not a lot going on in the foreground. It's just sort of this grassy slope with some interesting rock formations. But there's definitely a lot going on in the the distance.
My comment here is I like the clouds. I wish maybe there was just a glimpse of something more that you could see
Yeah.
behind the clouds. But overall, it's very well done of giving you that sense of grandness. I'm
Yeah.
thinking a 4 for this as well.
Okay.
So,
That's fair.
And then finally, just our personal opinion. Do we like this?
I like this.
I like it a lot. This says Xenoblade to
It
me.
does.
The style
It
of
could really be like the cover art for Xenoblade.
Yeah, it's very close to that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 4 for this as well.
I think so too.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Good job.
Shinryu gets a total score of 17 out of 20. Next is from Nick Roth, also on Patreon. Thank you, Nick.
Yes.
Nick says, hello. I thought this is a beautiful landscape showing the scale of the world and party looking on. You get to see a beautiful rainbow as well.
I love this one. This one is so cool. There's a lot of detail here to look at.
This is one that you can just look at
And
for a long
find-
time and find a lot of
Yeah,
details.
details and all that
So,
stuff.
is the scenery beautiful and dramatic?
I think so. I think very dramatic.
Very much so.
Sort of the humid air
Yeah.
with like the spray and the rainbow going through that.
Yeah, there
and-
is kind of just a general sense of like wetness almost.
Yeah, there's atmosphere in
Yeah,
this for
so
sure.
I'm gonna say that is. Are we thinking 4 or 5 on this?
I'm gonna say 4 just because this rock in the foreground is a little bit like I love what's going on in the background, but the rock in the foreground seems just like a little bit like too much, taking up too much of the scene.
Okay.
Which is the only reason I will give it a 4 versus a 5.
Are the characters well positioned? Now, let's take a close look at this.
All the characters here.
They're all there. They're all generally looking in the same position. There is the one character in the back that I maybe would have liked to have seen a little bit more.
There's 2 in the back here.
Yeah. From I think it's 4. Can you make out details big and small?
See, this is where I think this gets a 5 because there's so many things to like pick out in the background. Like I was just noticing that there's little is there little boats or some sort of creatures?
I do like the glimpses of the water.
The water looks really cool.
Like a lot of Nintendo games lately, there's great water, in this game.
There's also a waterfall that you can see sort of happening
there's there.
And then even in the background, there's a lot of really interesting, like again, some really interesting rock formations.
I have a small critique here, which is I would have loved. You see, we've got a little bit of sky in the upper left corner. I wonder if he could have tilted the camera just a little bit more
to get more sky,
and got just a teeny bit more sky without losing any of this other stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm thinking 4 for this as well.
Okay.
And then tilt, personal opinion.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna say 4.
I was just going to say, so 4s across the board for our friend Nick, which comes to 16 out of 20. Not too shabby.
Really good.
Yeah.
Strong submission. And totally interested in this part of the game that you're in that you don't say too much about, maybe for spoiler purposes, but it's definitely a very different environment than what I'm seeing right now.
All right, on to our next Vista, which Prince Charmless on Patreon.
Ooh.
I really like this location because they finally reached the city of Great Sword, and it's pretty much the very top of the sword, which looks breathtaking. But I'm not sure if this qualifies as a Vista. Honestly, I don't know what Vista means.
There's a lot of laughing emojis here.
That really made me laugh. But let's see, is the scenery beautiful and dramatic? It's definitely dramatic.
Yeah, I don't know if it's beautiful, but it's definitely dramatic. And you definitely like feel like you're super, super high up, which like, it's a little terrifying.
Right.
Like look how, you're like above the clouds really at this
Yeah, I think of all the vistas we got, this is the highest up.
Yeah.
So again, I agree with you. It's dramatic. I don't know if it's beautiful.
No,
so
I wouldn't say beautiful.
I'm saying maybe 3 for this rating.
Yeah, okay. I think that's fair.
Although it's a very unique view. Are the characters well positioned?
Yeah, I think so. Again, they're all sort of together looking out.
But yeah, overall, they're all there. Nobody's out of place. So yeah, I'm thinking 4 for that as well. Yeah. And then, can you make out details big and small? I don't know what the good prince could have done differently about this, but it's hard to make out a lot of the details of the castle. And then he explains that you're on this big sword. It's hard to tell what that is.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what could have been done to change that, but I'm just wanting maybe a little more clarity on what we are looking at.
Right.
So I'm thinking
like pull back a little bit.
So I'm thinking 3 here, even though there may have been nothing he could have done about it. And then finally, personal opinion, do we like it? I'm giving this a 4. Because, again, this is unique from all of the other Vistas that we've seen.
Yeah, I think so too.
So that gets 14 out of 20.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
The first Vista is still in first place.
Yeah.
All right, this is from Kyle LaBouffe on Patreon. It can be difficult to pick a favorite Vista in this game because there's so many.
Agreed.
But without going too deep into spoiler details, thank you. I picked this location because it's the site of an incredibly difficult series of battles that took me some time to overcome. During the battles, I was so focused on the action and cutscenes that I didn't really pay that much attention to the environment. But when the battle was finally over, I looked up and saw this incredible expanse, and it was a great reminder of the monstrous scale of the game. Monolith always put an amazing amount of work into these games, and it made for a truly rewarding experience.
That was a very well-written
great explanation. Yeah. So is the scenery beautiful and dramatic? Well, they say nothing's more dramatic than a waterfall.
You have like 10.
And we are encircled by a waterfall.
Yeah.
My one critique is I do think the skies in this game are not its strongest suit.
Well, I like the sky.
They're just kind of lacking a little bit of detail, which I think for me is making me go 4 rather than 5. Are the characters well positioned? Well, yeah, like we were just saying, this is very unique.
Really interesting.
So I'm actually going to give this a 5.
I think a 5, yeah.
Yeah,
because you see their faces and you kind of get a different perspective on that.
I mean, I've taken a lot of Vista shots in my own day. That's how you get to be the Vista King. It can be hard to do it this way.
Yeah.
Sometimes the camera can get wonky when you get to that position. So
Yeah.
I'm giving that a 5. Can you make out details big and small? A little closer. I'm going to say 4 for this.
I think 4 as
Yeah,
well.
4 is the right score. And then personal opinions on this one.
Strong.
The one thing I might want a little bit more is just some color, but I'm going to give it a 4.
I think a 4 is good.
So that puts us at 17 out of 20.
Ooh, tie!
Which is a tie. We're still early, but
Our first tie.
we have a tie between our first and fourth Vistas.
How
We must
exciting.
continue on.
How exciting. Okay, next is another Patreon user, Adeline Laborn.
Yes. Hopefully we said that right.
Yes, yeah. I'll read this. Here's my submission for the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Vistas, because one thing I particularly enjoyed across all 3 games are the lake systems and waterfalls. Of course, we all love a waterfall. Especially playing this in the midst of the brutal summer, these views feel extra refreshing. Don't you want to just dive in and swim? Yes.
You can almost feel the mist
I
coming
love
off
it.
of the water.
Yeah.
So beautiful and dramatic. The other thing I really like about this is, these trees seem to be just coming out of the rock
cliffside.
at strange angles, which is really unique. And I wonder if that was hard for them to implement
Yeah.
on the development side. So I think this is very dramatic.
This is pretty cool.
I think this might be a 5.
I think this
actually.
is a 5 as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Okay, are the characters well positioned? I like the move that this character is doing, kind of like
Yeah.
holding
It's got the head move
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So you kind of see, you've got a few characters up front, a few are in the back. I think it's this kind of mid-animation shot that is going to make it a 4 for me, because that adds some character.
It adds a little bit of like life to the photo.
Right.
It's like maybe he's also thinking about diving in
Yeah.
to that waterfall
Right,
because
right.
it looks really refreshing, right?
Can you make out details big and small? Definitely big.
Yes.
Now I'm looking kind of
I
far
was
off
looking over there too.
into the background. It's a little bit harder to see things that are not right in your face.
Right. I feel like for this one, you're sort of like almost like cocooned in
Yeah.
this like landscape of trees and cliffs.
Right.
You're not seeing a lot of distance.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a different take.
So I'm going to say that's a 3.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
And then personal opinion, what do we think? I think it's pretty high.
Yeah, I really like this one because it does give you that feeling of
Yeah.
like wanting to dive into this like super refreshing
Yeah.
location. But
Yeah.
I would say 4.
And I'm sure this one is very cool in motion too, but yeah, I think 4 is the right number. So that puts us at so that's 16.
Okay.
Next Vista is...
excellent.
Oh, now Riven submitted
Oh.
2 Vistas. So we will rate those. Riven's the only person. This was not in the rules, so I don't know if this is a loophole or what, but Riven
interesting.
might be gaming the system. Unfortunately, the system is stacked against him because he submitted 2 screenshots without characters.
Oh no, Riven! Let's see. Oh,
Yes.
he has 2 here.
And 2 explanations. So let's start
Oh,
with the
wow.
first one. Hello. This is a shot from very early in the game. I really like the lighting. I also love the natural terrain in the background, but of course the main draw is that huge mech. It gives off very strong vibes from the very first Xenoblade Chronicles. Definitely reminds me much of Metal Face, and I'm quite curious to discover whether there may be some connection.
Ooh, very curious.
Is it beautiful and dramatic?
It's definitely dramatic.
It's dramatic. Normally the Vista is like of natural
Yeah, so this is an interesting
rocks
take.
or waterfalls. This one you
Right.
have the giant mech there. 3.
I think 3 as well
Yeah.
because it's probably not. I wouldn't categorize this as beautiful.
No.
Yeah.
Are the characters well positioned? Well, unfortunately, this gets a
characters
goose egg again.
Oh, Riven.
You might have a different interpretation, but as the Vista King, I have to follow my own rules.
Again, it's hard to get the sense of scale when you don't
Yeah.
have characters. I guess this mech is kind of considered a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you make out details big and small? Definitely big.
Yep.
Not so
Not
much
so
on the
much
small,
small.
but again, you could argue you could pick out small details on the big
Yeah,
mech.
that's right.
Yeah. So I think that might be a 3.
Yeah, I think a 3 is good.
Yeah. Personal opinion.
It doesn't give me a sense of like relaxation or wonder. It definitely is a more of like
It's aggressive.
it's aggressive
Yeah.
and dramatic.
Yeah.
So I think 3 for me.
I'm gonna go 3 also. Again, if there was a way to differentiate the color of the mech from the color of the rocks,
cliffs.
and again, I don't know if it's possible, just saying. So Riven, first Vista clocks in at 9 out of 20. Okay?
Okay, Vista number 2
Vista
from
2.
Riven.
Now this, like we were just saying, this is like box art material.
Right.
This one is just an absolutely beautiful landscape shot. One of the reasons I really love this one is because it seems to feature landscapes from both of the previous games. That rocky outcropping in the foreground is reminiscent of Gar Plains from the first game, and in the background it appears to be the Orion Titan or possibly Genbu from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That's fun to say. Genbu!
Genbu!
It's really just a beautiful example of some of the amazing scenery. You can really feel how much love went into the game in this shot.
Nice.
Well said,
Well
Riven.
said, well said.
Is it beautiful and dramatic?
Yeah.
It really is. I
Yeah.
think I have to give this a 5,
I have
actually.
to give it a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Riven's going from a 5 to a 0 because there are no characters. I wonder, is this,
no.
maybe this was from a cutscene where it was panning across? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, but it is
'Cause otherwise it can be tricky to get shots that don't
without
have
the
the characters.
Yeah, totally.
Can you make out details big and small? Yeah. You can really, unlike the other one, there's not so many clouds that you can really see far deeply into this. You can start to make out or imagine some of those
colonies
points there.
or something.
I think it's a 5.
I think it's a 5.
And then finally, our personal opinion on it. I like
think
it a
it's
lot.
awesome.
This
Yeah.
would be like an awesome wallpaper for your
screensaver.
computer
Yeah.
or something. I'm gonna say 4.
4.
So even with getting the 0,
Yeah.
14 out of 20, pretty strong showing.
Does he get a combined score of
No. That would take him over 20.
23?
No.
out of 20? Okay, this is from Kawa2796. This is actually my very first Xenoblade game, and at first I wasn't planning on even playing, but listening to the podcast, you both really piqued my interest. I'm so glad I picked this game up. It's awesome. I really love how big the environment feels compared to the characters. Oh yeah, this.
Well, maybe Nintendo still has our direct deposit and can show us some love there, but
I know, right?
just for moving some units.
Wow.
This one really stands out to me.
This one's amazing.
I can't wait to rate this. Is it beautiful and dramatic?
Yes.
I like how they just seem to be standing on this shard, suspended.
Yeah.
I'm almost speechless this way. And then the depth of the structure in the back.
I love that, and it looks like teeth.
Right.
Almost in the back, like
Right.
shark teeth or something.
And then the little puffs of cloud.
Happy little cloud.
yeah, the clouds or mist or fog or something.
Not a lot of games attempt stuff like that. It's usually like, yeah, we've got a skybox, but little puffs,
Yeah.
not so much.
Adding that depth and
5.
the shadow.
Easy.
Light.
5. Easy 5.
5.
Are the characters well positioned?
I love the way the characters.
I do
position
too.
this. I think this, like standing on this like decline, whatever, really like adds drama.
It's a 5.
It's definitely.
I have no critiques of this.
Cute.
Can you make out details big and small? I think we already confirmed. Absolutely. It's a 5.
Yeah, I mean these details are really cool
Yeah.
and interesting looking.
And then our personal opinion.
I love this. I love this shot.
I want to find some way to give this something other than a perfect score, but I
think
can't.
It's getting a perfect
It gets
score.
a 5.
Yeah, look at you, Kawa.
Now, does this mean Kawa is the winner? No. Because we could still have a tie, in which case we need a tiebreaker, which is the Vista King's choice.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, we're not flipping a coin
We're
today.
not flipping a smash
No.
coin?
No.
An illicit smash coin?
No. So we'll continue on.
Okay.
Now we're on to
Twitter.
a Twitter submission from Nintendo_Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's hard to pick a favorite as there are so many incredible vistas in this game, but this area with the cascading waterfalls has probably stuck in my mind the most.
I love how everyone loves waterfalls.
This is another one of my
This
favorites.
is
back to
a
back.
very good one. A great submission. Okay. The first
Is it
criteria.
beautiful and dramatic? I mean, it's a wall-to-wall waterfall. Yeah, I think this
is a 5.
This is a 5. It's almost like 2 waterfalls cascading into one another.
Yeah.
Wow. That's all
So
I have
cool.
to say. I said wow.
This one for the next criteria.
Details big and small?
Oh. Are the characters well
Oh,
positioned?
excuse me. Are the characters well positioned?
I love this character.
It's hard to get a mid run pose to work right.
Yeah.
And then pairing it with the scarf, the
I was
flowing
gonna say
scarf.
the flowing scarf that goes so well with
Yes.
this like this motion. It's gotta be 5.
5. I already wrote it down.
Okay. You're not even letting me.
Can you make out details big and small? So
Definitely big.
you did point out the enemies. You do kind of get the wispiness of the clouds
Yep.
here. Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
There's
has
the
to.
other
Okay,
side.
that's a 5. And then your personal opinion.
I love this shot.
It's another 5. Wow.
Wow.
Back to back. All right, so this is
Nintendo hero. You're a Xenoblade hero.
we have some drama here because we just did back-to-back perfect scores.
Yeah.
So
Woo.
I mean, at a minimum, I'm gonna have to make a very hard choice.
Just
Oh,
keeps
now
getting-
this
just
is
keeps getting better.
another Twitter submission from John Despa.
Yeah.
The lights hanging from the trees make this area look so magical.
I'm not here.
I agree.
And this is amazing.
Now is this underground or?
Well, you're in like the roots of a tree. It
Right.
looks like, right? But yeah, it's got some sort of cave.
It has a cave-like quality, which makes
Yeah.
it feel pretty different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
exactly.
it beautiful and dramatic? I think so.
I think it's beautiful for sure. Yeah.
But that has to be dramatic with all of these hanging
it's dramatic.
light things.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think it's a 5. Are the characters well positioned? It's a little dark.
You have one character
I'm having
here.
a hard time making out exactly what
Right
this pose is.
there.
It looks like
Yeah.
it might be a
Someone's
mid-run.
running. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Noah? I can't
It's
even tell
fine, but it's not really grabbing me. So I'm thinking that's a 3.
I think it's because of the lighting. You're
Right,
Not, you
it's
can't-
hard.
It's blending in with the thing, with the background.
Yeah, so I'm writing down 3 for that. Can you make out details big and small? You really are overwhelmed
Yeah.
by the lights.
Exactly. Your eyes just go directly to the lights, and then I think the next thing you notice is the intricate pattern on the roots
trees,
of the trees.
right? Otherwise, you're
There's not that many
You're not
details,
getting
though.
much else.
Right.
So I think it is going to be a 3. Personal opinion, I'm going to say.
I like 4.
I was just going to say 4. I do like this a lot.
Super interesting.
Unlike anything else we have seen so far, so that gets us to 15 out of 20 for that.
Oh, this one is.
Now this is a very interesting, our only submission that was sent in video form.
Okay, let's.
So let's first of all let's read what
This is from.
Fight
at
Cookie.
Fight Cookie.
Yes, love the
And
music
I
from
love
this
the
place.
music from this place.
So let's go back to the beginning and play it with the music. I'm surprised this was the only video submission we got,
Yeah.
actually. Okay.
Okay.
Is it beautiful and dramatic? Well, I think the front half is much more beautiful and dramatic than the back half.
Right. The back half is just standing against sort of
Yeah.
this rock.
But I do think that slow pan is very dramatic.
I do too. Yeah.
That this person did. I'm going to say 4.
Yeah, 4 is good.
Are the characters well positioned? I mean, a lot of times you kind of have to fight the camera
Yeah.
to get it where you want. They're just standing still, but I'm thinking 4 because of that.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Can you make out details big and small? Again, you can see a lot more in the first part of the video. The back is just kind of, a stone structure.
Like here, though.
But you can, if you pause it in the right place, there's a lot to see. Yeah, I wonder what you could do with this in still form. But I do like this video. I'm gonna say 4. Personal opinion, I have to give this person a lot of credit for doing the video.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
I really like the placement of the camera a lot.
Yeah.
I am saying 4.
Yes.
So that's 4s across the board, 16 out of 20.
The last Vista.
Is
It's
it
my
time?
Vista.
Here we go. All right.
Look at that.
Krysta's Vista. It rhymes.
Krysta's?
Krysta's Vistas.
It's my new YouTube channel.
I know, I was just
please
going to
subscribe.
say. Could be awesome.
All right. So I will just tell you why I picked
Yeah,
this Vista.
please tell the story here.
So this is one of those moments in the game too where you're sort of journeying through this like cave,
Mm.
and then you get out of the cave, and this is the expanse that opens up. The cave there's a waterfall like flowing down through the mouth of the cave,
Wow.
and then you're seeing for the first time sort of this world kind of opening in front of you.
Now, you could have done this as a video and had the running water.
I know.
That would have been-
I did not.
that could have
do
been
that,
cool.
because I
All right.
left.
I'm gonna knock you from a 5 to a 4.
Ouch!
because the imagination just wasn't there of taking a video.
That's so harsh.
Are the characters well positioned? I gotta say, they're in a bit of a dark spot.
Yeah.
They're in this kind of shadow. If you had taken like 2 steps forward, you probably couldn't have been able to keep the waterfall.
Exactly.
So you were favoring the waterfall.
Exactly.
I'm gonna give you a 3 for this.
Ouch.
Sorry, I can't play favorites.
It's not very nice. Oh, sometimes I give myself a
You notice who didn't submit their Vista? Me. I'm
You're
busy
not even-
rating.
You're not even playing.
I'm above
You're
it.
not even like
I'm above
far
it.
enough in the game to even submit.
Can you make out details big and small? Yes.
Look at that background.
There's this jagged thing in the background that my eye keeps being drawn to, but I do also, I like how you can look under this land bridge and see that. These look like enemies off there. There's a cave. I'm very curious about this cave
Yeah,
here.
there's a lot going on. This is where when I was playing, I was like, oh wow, there's so much to do.
And again, it looks like you have that same thing of grass to desert, which I like.
5?
I think this is a 5, yeah.
Wow, my first
5,
5.
yeah. Personal opinion, you know, I like you. We do this video together. I'm gonna give you a 4. So you get 16. 16's nice. It's a high score. Big fan. Big fan of you and your work. You get 16 out of 20.
She's a 10, but her Vistas aren't on
Well,
point. Is that what
well,
you're saying?
her Vistas are not a 10 either. All right, now we have a tie to break. Oh my gosh, and they're back to back.
Here is Kawa's.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard.
Okay, really take it in.
Yep.
Taking it in.
Yep.
And then here is Nintendo Hero.
I'm really.
I know which one I like.
I'm really happy with both of these. You know, your opinion is usually welcome, just not now.
I know. I'm not going to tell you.
The Vista King is deep in deliberations. I have to give the victory to Kawa, though.
Okay.
This is just like a one-of-a-kind shot. Kawa, you're the winner! Congratulations!
Yay!
Vista King approved!
Woohoo!
Actually, these are all Vista King approved. I give them my Kerchunk stamp of approval.
Yes, stamp of approval. Well
Wonderful.
done. Now you're ready to like really play it, no?
Right.
So you're inspired.
I'm ready.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank you again for submitting your Vistas, and we hope that you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.